He was Hollywood's biggest joke.
A washed-up actor sleeping in bus stops, handcuffed in the back of police cars, and banned from every movie set in America. Studio executives had three words for him: "You are finished." But they were all wrong. In 1965, a baby boy was born in Manhattan, New York. His father was a filmmaker, his mother was an actress, and from the moment he opened his eyes, he was surrounded by cameras, scripts, and something else: drugs. At the age of 6, his own father handed him marijuana, not a toy, not a book, drugs. His father later admitted it was a terrible mistake, but the damage was done. By the time he was 8, he was a regular drug user. By the time he was a teenager, he had tried almost everything. But here's the thing nobody talks about. He was also a genius. At 17, he dropped out of high school to pursue acting full time, and Hollywood noticed him immediately. In 1983, he joined the cast of Saturday Night Live. He was only 18 years old, one of the youngest cast members in the show's history. Then came the movie that changed everything. 1987, Less Than Zero. He played a drug addict so convincingly. Critics were stunned. The performance was too real, too raw, too painful to watch, and that's because it wasn't acting. He was playing himself. 1992, he earned an Academy Award nomination for a film called Chaplin. He transformed himself into Charlie Chaplin so completely. Even Chaplin's family said it was like watching a ghost. He was 27 years old, nominated for an Oscar. The future looked limitless, but behind the cameras, he was falling apart. The drugs had taken control: cocaine, heroin, prescription pills. He couldn't stop. His friends tried to help. His family begged him to get clean. He promised he would. He lied. 1996, the collapse began. He was speeding down Sunset Boulevard when police pulled him over. In his car, they found heroin, cocaine, and an unloaded pistol. He was arrested. The mugshot made national news. But that was just the beginning. 1 month later, he wandered into a neighbor's house while they were away. He was so high he didn't know where he was. He passed out in their child's bedroom. The family came home and found a stranger unconscious in their 11-year-old's bed. He was arrested again. The tabloids had a new favorite headline: Hollywood's biggest disaster. He entered rehab, then left, then entered again, then left again. He later said, "I was like a garbage can on fire, and everyone could see the smoke." 1997, he was sentenced to 6 months in prison. The judge gave him a choice: get clean or lose everything. He chose drugs. 1999, a television show called Ally McBeal took a chance on him. Despite his reputation, despite the arrest, they believed in him. The show's ratings exploded. He won a Golden Globe. For a moment, it looked like he had finally turned his life around. He hadn't. 2000, arrested again, this time for cocaine possession. The producers of Ally McBeal had no choice. They fired him. His agent dropped him. Studios refused to meet with him. Insurance companies labeled him one word and uninsurable. In Hollywood, if you can't be insured, or you can't work. So his career was officially dead. In 2001, he hit rock bottom. No job, no money, no hope. His wife had left him. His friends had given up. He later described this period in 5 words: I was going to die. But something happened on July 7th, 2003. He met a woman named Susan Levin. She was a film producer, smart, driven, and she refused to date him unless he got clean. She told him, "I will not watch you destroy yourself. Choose me or choose drugs." For the first time in his life, he chose something other than drugs. Oh, he checked into rehab one final time, but this time was different. This time he meant it. He practiced martial arts to discipline his mind. He meditated. He rebuilt himself from the inside out. But Hollywood doesn't forgive easily. Even after he got clean, nobody would hire him. Studios remembered the arrests, the failures, the chaos. His name was toxic. Then one man decided to take a chance. His name was Mel Gibson, a movie star who had known him for years. In 2003, Gibson was producing a film called The Singing Detective. He wanted his old friend for the lead role, but no insurance company would cover him. The risk was too high. So Mel Gibson did something unbelievable. He paid the insurance himself, out of his own pocket, millions of dollars. He said, I believe in this man. The movie was a small success, but more importantly, it was proof that he could show up, be professional, stay clean. One small door had opened in 2004, a film called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. 2005, a thriller called Good Night and Good Luck. Small roles, small paychecks. But he showed up every single day, on time, prepared, sober. Hollywood was watching. Then in 2006, a young director named Jon Favreau was preparing a risky project, a superhero movie about a character most people had never heard of, Iron Man. Favreau had one actor in mind for Tony Stark, a genius, a mess, an egomaniac with a heart of gold. He wanted the man Hollywood had written off, but Marvel Studios refused. They said the risk was too high, his history was too dark. What if he relapsed during filming? What if he got arrested again? Jon Favreau fought for him. He argued, he pleaded. He put his own reputation on the line. He told Marvel, without him, there is no movie. Marvel finally agreed, but they offered him only $500,000 for the lead role in a $140 million film. It was an insult, a test, a way of saying, prove yourself. He took it. May 2nd, 2008, Iron Man opened in theaters. The critics were stunned. The audiences were obsessed. He didn't just play Tony Stark, he became Tony Stark. The movie earned $585 million worldwide. And the man everyone had written off had just launched the biggest film franchise in history. What happened next is almost impossible to believe. Iron Man 2, The Avengers, Iron Man 3, Avengers Age of Ultron, Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, 11 Marvel films in 11 years. His salary went from $500,000 to $50 million per film. Avengers Endgame became the highest grossing movie of all time, $2.8 billion. And at the center of it all was the actor nobody would hire. Today, he is worth over $300 million. He's been nominated for 2 Academy Awards, won 3 Golden Globes, and received the American Cinematheque Award for his contribution to cinema. But the numbers don't tell the real story. The real story is that a 6-year-old boy was handed drugs by his own father and spent the next 30 years destroying himself. The real story is that Hollywood, his friends, and the entire world gave up on him. The real story is that he was one overdose away from becoming another tragic headline, and he survived. In 2020, he said something in an interview that explains everything. He said, I think that the power of second chances is real because I've lived it. So remember this the next time someone says you're finished. Remember this the next time you fail. Remember this the next time the world counts you out. Robert Downey Jr. was arrested, imprisoned, divorced, fired, and labeled uninsurable. He was Hollywood's biggest joke. And then he became Hollywood's greatest comeback. You're not your worst moment. You're not your failures. You're not what they say about you. Your story's not over. It's just getting started. Every satisfactory person was once laughed at. Every champion was once counted out. Every legend was once written off. If the story moved you, subscribe to Written Off for more stories of people who proved the world wrong. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a story. And remember, your setback is just your setup.
See you in the next one.